morning, class. We have a sequence today that's designed to improve your balance. And balance is one of my favorite benefits that you get from yoga. I often refer to balance with my students as stillness fighting gravity. And when you're integrating yoga postures that touch on balance, you're building muscular strength, muscular flexibility, and body intelligence from the pinky toe to the crown of the head. So some of these postures that we have today are going to dive into balance, and there's also many other benefits that you will derive from these postures. Some of them are quite challenging, but that's really the goal, one of our goals of our practice today, to connect. And then what does balance mean in your life? When I go through sequences where my benefits are about balance, right? I'm thinking of my balance in my regular life being secure, being grounded, being kind, being empathetic to others. So we'll start with feet about hip width apart, connecting to Pada Bandha in our feet. That's those active arches, right? Where we spread those toes. Active legs, strong legs, and balance is also integrating muscles in the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. So we'll start with the hands about shoulder width apart, right in front of us here. And I like to simply releve up on the balls of the feet. And it's here where I kind of find a balance of my inner and outer ankles. I'm strengthening my arches, my Achilles, and I'm just touching on balance, awakening it. I lower my feet about halfway, touching on balance. I come up a little bit higher. I come a little bit lower. I releve again a little bit higher, touching on balance. And then I sink a little bit lower, finding the balance. Gently lower to the ground. We'll start off with 2 cleansing breaths. In our cleansing breaths, we inhale through the nose, we exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You connect with breath and movement a little bit more. Some variations of Surya Namaskara. Inhale, root to the 4 corners of the feet. Draw those arms up. Energy out the fingertips. Exhale, come into a dynamic forward fold, heel and toe. Inhale, sternum and chest forward, halfway lift, tailbone out. Many of you hands to the shins or the thighs. Neck is long, gazing forward and down. Exhale, come into forward fold, sternum and chest close to those shins. Inhale, swan dive up, open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Again, quarter sun salutations. Inhale, draw those arms. Exhale, come into forward fold. Dynamic forward fold, still awakening. Inhale, sternum and chest forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swan dive up. Open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart center. Beautiful. We're going to take a moment and set our own intention of our practice today. What does balance mean in your life? How can you integrate balance a little bit more in your life? throughout our practice today with our breath, our efforts, and energy. Breathe into that balance. Breathe into that body intelligence. And we'll get started. So we're going to come up to the edges of the mat here. And we're going to start with Malasana, prayer squat. Okay? And our feet are going to turn out just a little bit, toes rotating out. Some of you, if you need a block, you might start with a block behind you if you are struggling with Malasana. We're going to inhale, we draw those arms. Exhale, we come into Malasana. This is where I have active legs, active arms. The arms press into the legs, and the legs press into the arms, generating length in the spine. Gently frame the left foot. We're going to take the right leg and bring it out at a diagonal here. We're going to heel and toe, heel and toe. Keeping the left hand on the up, drawing that right arm up and possibly lowering the left hand to the ground. Beautiful underneath. Rotate that pinky and breathe into the back hip, into the shoulders. Gently release. Hands come onto the inside and we kind of connect to a diagonal runner's pose here, connecting the both legs, even balance right here. Draw that right foot up, coming back to Malasana. Root through the four corners of the feet. Press the legs into the arms, into those elbows. Create length into the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Often in this pose, you can feel the breath rise from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Framing the right foot. Extend that left leg back. Come into a diagonal. Heel and toe. Here we go. Good. Not heel and toe, but just a little dynamic. Right hand on the right hip, draw that left arm up, kind of rotate that pinky in. Draw the shoulders down the back, and continue to kind of open the chest and open the heart here. Beautiful low lunge. Beautiful Anjaneyasana. Gently release. Hands come to the middle. Connect. Diagonal runner's pose here. Draw that foot back up. Come back into Anjaneyasana. Many benefits of Anjaneyasana. From here, I'd like you to just maybe close your eyes. Connect with the breath. Stay here 10 breaths. Breathing into the hips. Feel the prana, the breath rise from the tailbone through the crown of the head, up and down the spine. Inhale, rise. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to face you here right now, and we're going to come into Vrikshasana, tree pose. There's many benefits of Vrikshasana. This is kind of a beginning and an advanced balancing pose. We'll start rooting through the four corners of the left foot. This is where you want to draw that left femur head in. The right foot, it's going to be a bent leg, and you're either going to rest it on the ankle a little bit more on inside the calf, or maybe guide the right foot up high inside the thigh here. And again, draw that left femur head in. Hands to the hips, and this is where we're going to take that bent right leg, and we're trying to level the pelvis. Level the pelvis, finding our balance. Still rooting through the four corners of the feet. Leveling the pelvis. Hands come into prayer. Many of us may simply stay here. Some of us, we're going to draw those arms up. Maybe widen them if the shoulders, we want to get the shoulders down the back, but if we can't, palms together. In the drishti, we find our gaze. Our gaze is eye level or ahead. Gently come out of Vrikshasana. Cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Rooting through the four corners of the right leg. Padabandha in those feet. Activate those arches, spread those toes. Try to draw that right femur head in. Take that left bent leg, and you either can place it lower or right on the calf. Just don't directly place it onto the knee, or place it up higher, this left bent leg, inside the thigh. Hands to the hips. This is where we level the pelvis. Take that bent leg, abduct it, rotate it to the side a little. Hands come into prayer. Finding our drishti, finding our balance. If you can, you draw those arms over the head. Shoulders down the back. Come out of the pose the same way we came into the pose. Cleansing breath. Rooting through the four corners of the feet here. We're going to start with the left leg, and we're going to draw that right leg up and just touch on balance here. Touch on balance. Keep that left femur head in. Touch on balance. Find your drishti, find your gaze. Taking the right leg back, stepping into crescent moon. We're preparing here, building a little bit of leg strength and endurance. I sometimes place my hands on my hips. Maybe bring my right arm forward and think about right hip coming forward. Left arm reaches left hip back, right hip forward, and then draw those arms up. Find the balance of the front leg and the back leg. Staying here a while, integrating strength, integrating balance. Gently release. This is where we frame the foot. And what is your balance, right? We're in Phalakasana here. Maybe it's knee, chest, chin, easy cobra. Maybe it's chaturanga dandasana. Into up dog. Exhale. Come into Adho Mukha down dog. We'll stay here 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale through the nose, calming the mind. Transition forward, walk it forward. Inhale, sternum and chest forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swan dive up, open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart center. Cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Rooting through the 4 corners of the right foot. This is where we're going to draw that left knee up. Finding our balance. Finding our strength. Activate the arches of the feet. Engage the muscles of the right hand. Draw that left foot back for crescent moon. Maybe hands come to the hips. Draw the left arm forward. Think about the left hip coming forward. Right arm next. Right hip back. Find the balance of the front leg and the back leg. Draw those arms up. Shoulders down the back. Belly button to the spine. We'll stay here. A little bit of time. Building strength. Building endurance. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Beautiful. Framing the foot. Step back to Phalakasana, whatever your flow is going to be. Maybe it's simply going back to down dog. Exhale, come into Adho Mukha down dog. Press through those palms evenly. Root through the 4 corners, or at first the balls of the feet. Think about activating the arches, getting the heels close to the ground. Firm those thighs. Inner spiral the backs of the thighs. And breathe into any areas causing you stiffness, causing you pain. Transition forward. Walk it forward. Inhale, sternum and chest forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sternum and chest. Sternum and chest close to the shins, but keep the sitting bones nice and high. Come more to the midfoot of the foot. Inhale, swan dive up. Open the chest, open the hearts. Exhale, exhale. I'm going to come to the edge of the mat and I'm going to face you. And this is kind of a fun part of the practice. I love this transition. Triangle, Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon, back to triangle. And there's lineage, there's roots, and there's history in the way we transition in and out of these postures. This is balance, stillness fighting gravity, and it's healthy for our hips, our pelvic hip girdle, and our spine. So just embrace this challenging and fun part of the sequence. So I'm mirroring you guys. So we're going to start with the right foot, 90 degrees, and that back foot is rotated inward a bit. Inhale, we create like exhale, we reach almost towards the wall here. Come into triangle pose. Many of us stop by the shin and then we come a little bit lower in triangle. Beautiful standing posture that opens the hips. From triangle, we're going to take our left hand and place it on the back hip. I'm going to bend the right leg and draw my right hand forward a little bit. And this is where I'm gonna draw my back leg to kind of near the front leg a little bit. And then when I have the balance, I'm gonna take this bent right leg and I'm gonna straighten it like a hydraulic pump, extending that back leg, almost taking the back foot and stacking it on the shelf. And this is where we keep that back left hip open. Energy running out the back leg, out the heart, out the fingertips. We're gonna stay here 10 breaths if we can. How do we transition from this pose? We bend the standing leg, the right leg. We gently lower the back leg. We transition back to our triangle pose. We inhale, we root and rise. Maybe we do a cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Coming to the other edge of the mat here. This time, we're going to take the left foot and point it 90 degrees. Back foot rotates in about 15 degrees there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward, hand to the shin. Beautiful Trikonasana triangle. Or head to the down. Beautiful hip opener. Gently bend the left leg. Let's place the hand to the hip. Let's draw the left hand forward about a foot. Draw that back leg, and this is where we take that left leg and we straighten it like a hydraulic pump here. Energy out the back leg. We take the back leg and we open the hip a little bit. Open the hip. We take the back foot. It's almost like stacked onto a shelf. Finding our balance. We'll stay here a while. Finding our breath. Gently bend the left leg. Draw that right leg back down. Prepare to come back to triangle pose here. Inhale, root and rise. Kind of excited to share that with you. That was awesome. Okay. Let's do a little Surya Namaskar A between, generating some heat. Connecting. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, come into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, step back into Phalakasana. This is where we round the upper back a bit, belly button to the spine. Whatever your flow is. Exhale, down dog. Press through those palms evenly, heels in line with the pinky toes. Firm those thighs. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Transition forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, and walk those hands back and bring the sternum and chest close to the shins, but keep those hips over the midfoot. Inhale, swan. Exhale, heart center. Beautiful. I think I'll start with this angle so you guys can see me a little bit on both sides here. We're going to start with triangle pose here. And we'll start with the right leg first this time. Okay, we'll start with the right leg. And revolved triangle, now we're going to do revolved triangle coming into revolved crescent moon. This is a challenging portion here. We're going to step that left leg back. Right foot is in front here. And notice the right heel intersects with the arch or the heel. And we want both hips really facing forward, facing that wall. Sometimes I place my hands on the hips and I self-correct myself. Okay. Right hand on the hip, drawing that left arm up. For many of us, we'll place the left hand inside the right foot because revolved triangle is a little bit challenging. Inhale, create length. Exhale, come forward. Many of us are going to place the left hand on the inside. Some of us, if we've practiced before, we're going to place the hand right outside of the right foot. Drawing that right arm up. Beautiful triangle. For stability, right hand to the hip, gently bend the right leg, draw the left hand on the inside of the right foot up about a foot, and from here we're going to activate extending that back leg, and the back leg kind of rotates internally a bit. Right top ribs back, left bottom ribs forward. Connect with that back leg. Beautiful revolved revolved half moon. Parvita Ardha Chandrasa. Stay here several more breaths. Hand to the hip for stability. Lower the back leg, preparing for revolved triangle. Right hand to the hip. Gaze at that big toe. Inhale, root and rise. Step forward and meet. Cleansing breath together. If you're a little shaky or that was challenging, it's good. I mean, this is a tough part of the sequence. And it's okay to challenge yourself. That's why we're here, why we're together. Left foot out in front, right foot behind you, balance, stillness fighting gravity, connecting to your entire body. Hands to the hips. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Both hips facing straight ahead. Left hand on the hip, right arm up. Inhale, create length. Exhale, right hand most of the time is going to come inside for many of us, or maybe to the shin. If we can, eventually it comes into a revolve. This is really a mid-thoracic twist here. And I extend my left arm. Beautiful revolved triangle. Left hand to the hip. Bend that left leg. Draw that right hand up about a foot inside of that left foot. And this is where I'm going to bend. I have the left leg is bent, and I'm going to straighten it into revolved half moon. Connect to that back leg. Firm that back thigh. Find the balance. Inhale, exhale through the nose. rotate that back right hip inward a bit. Radiate those energies from the chest, from the heart, out the fingertips. Left hand to the hip, gently bend the left leg. Lower the right foot to the ground. And into revolved triangle. Left hand to the hip, gaze at that big toe. Inhale, root and line. Step forward. Cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Another part of balance I want to connect is an arm balance. Vasisthasana, side plank. Okay, we're going to do that together. Inhale, draw those arms up. Connect the energy out from the legs, out the fingertips. Exhale, come into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Sternum and chest forward, tailbone and legs. Step back into Phalakasana. Again, Phalakasana, hands under the shoulders. We dome the upper back a little bit. Sternum forward, we press into the balls of the feet. We press those heels back. I might draw my hand inward just a bit. We're gonna press to the outer edge of the right foot. Many of us will kind of do a kickstand. This is a challenge for us. We'll press outer edge of the right foot and we'll stay in a kickstand. Others, if we can, we're gonna stack the feet on top of each other, flexing the feet, rooting through the edge of the foot. And I want us to even, sometimes I place my hands on my hips and I feel my right hip lifting. I'm connecting. It's a beautiful arm strengthener, core strengthener, and hip. Stay here a while. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Transition back to Phalakasana. Draw the left hand in just a few inches, and the shoulder is kind of over the heel of the hand. And I press outer edge of my left foot. Many of us will make the kickstand here with the right foot. But if we can, we stack the feet together. Flex the feet. Then lift that left hip. Connect. We'll stay here a while. Building hip, shoulder, arm, core, strength, body intelligence. Transition back to Phalakasana. Beautiful. Gently lower to the knees. Widen the knees, big toes touching. Let's do our first wide-legged child's pose today. Shift those hips back. Rest the forehead to the ground. Shoulders down the back. Lengthening the spine. Gently come out of child's pose. Kind of come back to all fours. Lead with those hips. Come into Adho Mukha Down Dog. Draw that right leg up pretty high here. I want us to take the right leg, bend it, and almost stack it, the right hip over the left hip. Preparing for a pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana here. Draw the right knee outside of the right elbow, outside kind of the right knee, outside of the right wrist here. And gently, we're going to extend that back leg. Many of us, you have a hard time with this right sitting bone. We might need to place a block under that right sitting bone, helping us square those hips. Right here, we have the right hip back, the left hip forward. There's many variations of pigeon, and I know we're going to hold pigeon here a while. Connecting through the breath, through this deep hip opener. At times lately, I've kind of been liking to rest my elbow, right elbow on the inside, and kind of draw my left arm up, digging into those external rotators of the hips. And I might take that left arm, hand now, inside of that right hip. Close the eyes, we'll stay here several breaths. Gently release. And it's here that I might take that left hand to the ground now and draw that right arm up. Gently release. Squaring those hips. Integrating a form of, and for many of us, we're just, again, squaring the hips wherever we are. But maybe some of us integrating a form of a back bend, opening the chest, opening the heart. Eventually connecting to the back leg by clasping that foot. Maybe making a jhana mudra of the thumb and index finger on the right hand. Balance, knowledge, strength. Stay here a while. Some of us might explore Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Prep here. Gently release. Come into down dog. We're going to transition out of it. Maybe do a little spinal wave here. We had that little wave. I kind of integrated chest from the balls of my foot, feet to my tailbone, through the crown of the head. Connecting. And from here, we're going to lift that left leg high. Bend the left knee and stack the left hip over the right hip. Draw the left knee to the chest, to the nose. Place the left knee outside of the left wrist. Good job. This is where a lot of us placing a block, placing a blanket under that sitting bone, trying to connect here. Square the hips, left hip back, right hip forward. The back foot is also in plantar flexion placed into the ground. From here, I like to integrate, drawing that left elbow inside of it. Right arm up. Maybe take the right hand to the left hip. Gently bring the right hand to the ground. Draw that left arm. And from here, squaring those hips. Open the chest. Open the heart. Maybe we clasp that back foot. Jana Mudra, the thumb and the index, wherever we are. We're exploring pigeon, lots of different levels in this class. Eventually some of us clasp both feet. Head to the arch. Continue to open the chest. Open the heart. Gently release. Transition, we kind of hands outside of the front knee here. Lift that back leg up. Transition back to Adho Mukha down dog. Gently lower to the knees. Coming into Dandasana, so you're going to seat into Dandasana here. And we're going to come into wide-legged Upavista pose here. So we're going to take the legs wide. Outer edges of the feet rotating back. And this is where we think of rotating the knees back. Good as well. We'll do a little lateral release in Konasana here. So we'll start with the left elbow on the inside. Draw that right arm up. Little release of the right side body. Inhale, rise. Take your right hand inside. Draw that left arm up. Rotate that pinky in. Open the left side of the body. Body rotate it. Breathe into the side. Release the lower back. Connect to your entire body. Inhale, rise. Beautiful. Drawing the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. This is where we bring the sitting bones up just a bit. Again, sometimes I take my feet like I'm opening a book and I try to rest my elbows kind of inside. I'm opening my adductors. I'm releasing my lower back. We'll stay here 10 breaths, reaping the benefits of flexibility. Inhale and rise. Let's do one forward fold here before we come into our Shavasana. Rooting through the sitting bones, creating length in the spine from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Inhale, draw those arms up. Exhale, bring the sternum and the chest and the heart forward. We're going to hold this several breaths and then we may go back to this and hold it a little bit longer. Outer edges of the feet rotating back, sternum and chest close to the shins. Inhale, rise. One more time. Inhale, create length, root through the sitting bones. Energy out the feet. Exhale, come forward with the sternum and the chest. Reach forward. 2, 3, 4 more inches. Reach, reach, reach. And come forward. Outer edges of the feet rotating back. Prepare to stay here a while. This is where I don't mind if you dump in a little bit less with the form. Just really, really dump in and breathe into that release of the lower back. Inhale and preparing for our Shavasana here now. If you have, I'm going to turn off the music, whatever you can do to make yourself a little bit more comfortable here. The last few minutes of our Shavasana. Our part for regeneration and relaxation, which we all deserve, right? So nestle yourself in however you get comfortable, on your back, on your sides, on your stomach. Relax the feet, relax the hands. Everything goes. Preparing to come out of our Shavasana, little movements in your fingers and toes. Gently bend the knees. Right arm over the head. Use the left hand to press yourself up. Reflecting on what balance means to you in your own personal life. How can you integrate balance a little bit more? Balance is finding the time to call an old friend, or making the time to make a healthy meal, or making the time to take a hot bath or take care of yourself. So balance is a true gift, and yoga teaches us that through our postures, through our efforts, every time we step on our mat. Namaste, class. Have a wonderful day.